Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to share with you how I simplified my life. Hey, if this is your first time watching, my name is Alex. I share with you tools, tips, and strategies to help you deal with the fear, doubt, and anxiety around money so you can live your best life. So, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about how I actually was able to simplify my life. Now, let me just say up on, at the outset that my wife and I we don't have any children. Okay, so let me just say that I understand and I know just how um, family, having children, having other things that you have to do with family and your loved ones that you don't necessarily have control over, I understand just how difficult it can be and how hectic it can be. Some of you might know that I am caregiving for my mother right now. And, you know, I was actually very anxious. Even though I spent time with her before, and actually did some caregiving with her before. Um, yeah, I'm always a little anxious, right? Because I wonder how am I going to take care of it all? How am I going to make sure that her needs are taken care of? And how am I going to still do some things that I need to do within my business, talking with customers and clients? So um, so I just want to share with you a little bit of my thoughts, and hopefully this will help you in helping you to really get a handle or get a grip on your life. And because I know it can be, it seems like the weight of the world can be on your shoulders, and you just have so many different things to do, and so many and being pulled in so many different directions. I know exactly how that feels. In fact, let me share with you a story. I can remember when I was operating my salon business. Um, I can remember there being times when I had employees, I had customers and clients of my own. I had to take care of my home. Of course, I still had to take care of everybody's needs and make sure everything was taken care of in my business. And I can remember when I actually worked myself so much, so hard that that I got vertigo. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced it. It is something that is terribly difficult to deal with. So I actually had to just literally rest. Your body has a way of shutting you down, right? When things get too overwhelming, when things get too much, your body has a little circuit breaker that just says, boom, I'm going to shut this down. And so I literally had to lay in bed for an entire week. But I can remember when I was sharing with my clients, telling them that I would not be in the salon and what they should do. And I remember one person saying, "Well, what am I going to do about my hair?" That taught me a very valuable lesson. That taught me that people only care about you to the degree that you are scratching their itch. As long as you're scratching their itch, they're fine. But the moment it becomes inconvenient to them, the moment that their itch isn't being scratched, now it's a problem. And it doesn't matter if you are sick, not doing well. It to them, it doesn't matter. So it taught me a very valuable lesson. So, what are the lessons that it taught me? Number one, that many times life becomes too hectic for us and too overwhelming. Um, one of the reasons why is we take on everyone else's expectations. We take on too many expectations that people have placed on us of what we should be doing oftentimes for them, right? And so one of the things that we really have to do is we have to really question those things. We have to look at those things and say, hey, wait a minute. First of all, is this a relationship? Is this being reciprocated? Am I getting something from the person in exchange, right? Or is it just me giving all the time and other people taking? Because people are really good at taking. A lot of times people are not good at giving. And particularly for women. Women tend to be, there are a lot of expectations put on women, mothers, wives, housekeepers. Uh, People are expected to be, have black girl magic at the job, right? Friends are asking and expecting things. And so we really first have to ask ourselves, first of all, are these expectations that people have of you, are they realistic? Are they something that you have taken on, and is it detrimental to you? So that's number one. The second thing that you really want to do, and I've had to do as well, is you need to have a vision for your life. You need to know, in the ideal world, how would you operate on a day-to-day basis, right? What things would you be doing? What things would you not be doing? Because oftentimes, the things that we should not be doing are getting in the way, and they're crowding out the things that we should be doing. So it's really important that you sit down and take inventory and ask yourself, number one, what life do you really want to live? What's your ideal life? What's your best life? What does it look like? What does it feel like? How does your day flow? Right? Who Secondly, who are the people who are most important to you? Who are your priorities? Okay? And you want to put those people on your list. Okay? And now, once you've done that, you want to keep going. Now, you want to go through and make a list of all the things that you're currently doing, all the things and expectations that people have of you now. And then you have to ask yourself, which of these things fit the life that I want to live? Which of these things fit the priorities that I should have in my life? Which of these things fit the things that really are in my best interest and help me to be my best person, my best self? And when you do that, you will discover there are a list of things that you probably should not be doing. It's important to have a list of to dos, and honestly, there are only a few, right? And there's going to be a list of things that you should not be doing. And it's really important to have that list, because if in fact, for you to be more successful in your personal life, in your relationship, in your career, you're going to have to say no a lot. You're going to have to say no. You have to get comfortable with saying no. And you have to get to the place where no it isn't no, and let me explain why. It's no. And it's not no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. It's no. No. Nothing else needs to be said. No, period. All right? And we got to get comfortable with that. Okay? So you've already defined what's who and what is most important to you. You've identified what you should not be doing and the list of things that you should be doing as it relates to those things. You want to get rid of the expectations that people have of you, often, especially when they don't serve you or serve your goal or serve your priorities well. Okay? And to help do that, there's this book called The One Thing. The One Thing. I think it's by Gary Keller, if I'm not mistaken. It's by Gary Keller. And they talk about the importance of going through an exercise to help you identify What is the one thing that, in order for you to be able to get the most out of your life, get the most out of your resources, get the most out of your team, get the most out of your organization, get the most out of your family, get the most out of your skill set, in order for you to get the most, what one thing, if you focused on it, would give you the biggest return or put you uh, closest to reaching the goals that you really have set for yourself? And it's hard to get to because there are some things that immediately when you think about them will pop out. But oftentimes you have to kind of just make a list. You have to kind of make a list, kind of make a list. Because what you will find is sometimes it is some things that are not on the surface, that if you concentrate on those things, that you get the biggest bang for the buck. By pushing that one thing, it begins to knock down the other dominoes along the way, and that's what gives you the biggest bang for your buck. It's what one thing can I focus on and do right now that's going to get me further down the road faster, quicker, and give me the biggest return. That's what you should be focusing on. And that book is a very simple. It's a very easy read. I encourage you to get that book. So finally, I just wanted to share another story. There was a time when I saw the economy changing, just overall, the economy changing. This is probably back in 2005, 2006 or so, right before the crash. You guys, many of you guys remember that, right? 2008, 2007, 2008. But I could see how things were shifting and changing, that you can see how things had gotten so out of whack with the housing market and everything that um, it just if you were watching, if you were paying attention, you could really see that things didn't look right. Okay. So it was during that time that I was operating my salon business. As I mentioned before, I lived probably 30 minutes. So I had a 30-minute commute, 35-minute commute every day. I was working from 6 in the morning to 8:30 at night. And then on my two off days, I had to take care of this big old house, right? So um, it was during that time when a lot of uh, commercial and retail development started to focus a lot on what's considered mixed use. So you could have back in the day you have brownstones where there might have been a business at the bottom, and then there was an apartment or townhouse above it. Well, that was becoming coming into fashion, coming into vogue around that time. And you know what? I really began to look and say, hey, you know what? I need to simplify my life. I need to things aren't progressing the way that I would like to see it, and I need to consolidate. I need to simplify. And so I actually closed my business and I moved my personal residence as well. Okay. All into one, integrated it into one mixed use facility. And that did wonders for me. I no longer had a commute. My commute was 3 minutes, right? All I had to do was walk from my personal space to my business, right? 3 minutes. And it allowed me to simplify my finances. It allowed me to get my time back. It allowed me to get away all the other experiences and all the other obligations and all the other burdens, so to speak. And it allowed me to just concentrate more specifically on the things that I really needed to focus on. And one of the reasons why I didn't do it sooner was because of people's expectations. What would people say? What would people think? What would my clients think? Would I be seen as a failure? And I wrestled with that for some time until I realized that no one has your best interest in mind. No one has your best interest at heart if you don't. No one's paying my bills. I can't call up and say, hey, can I do X, Y, and Z? You gonna pay this for me? No, I couldn't do that. And so I had to learn that what other people think, it ain't important. It's what you think that's important. It's the life that you designed for yourself that is most important. And ultimately, I came to that decision. I decided to make those changes. And you know what I found? It was actually not only something that was in my best interest, but it also became in those around me. It also became a decision that was in their best interest because now I was able to give more fully of who I was and who I had to offer and what I had to offer because I had gotten away all those other things that really weren't important. I had gotten rid of those things and cut those things out. And now I can truly focus on what my passion, my purpose, and my plan was. So ultimately, I hope this helps you in some way. Um, Understand what other people's expectations are and what other people think isn't important. Decide what you want your life to look like, what you want it to be like, and then begin to cut away. I talk a lot about this, but cut away people's expectations and people's things that they want you to do for them. Think about you and what you need in order to be the best version of who you are. And if you do that, everyone else around you will get much more from you because you'll be doing it from a position of a purpose, of fulfillment, and probably with more passion. All right. Take care. God bless. I'll see you next time.